Okay, so I'm here with Hardy Macia, and you're running for state or
I'm running for U.S. Congress in the 2nd District against Charlie Bass.
Okay, and we've done this once already because I ran out of camera space and we had to start all over, but please be kind enough to tell me again what it is that you're trying to accomplish by running for this office.
Well, I mean, liberty in our lifetimes, number one, but the reason I'm running this time around is we need to balance the budget. We can't afford a $1.3 trillion deficit year after year. If we keep it up, we're going to be in economic collapse just like Greece, Spain, and Portugal, or Russia 20 years ago. So we need to balance the budget now, not in 30 years, not in 40 years, but now. We can't afford a $16 trillion debt, which was given to us by the Republicans and Democrats both. And right now, Congress has a 9% approval rating, and Congress is the Republicans and Democrats, and people keep voting them back in. And I'm not sure why people keep voting people back in with a 9% approval rating. And I'm running to give a third choice. I'm the third choice on the ballot here in New Hampshire. So you have a Democrat, a Republican, you have me as the Libertarian as your third choice. In New Hampshire, 40% of people are undeclared in the state, and there's a bigger percentage of people that aren't even registered to vote. In New Hampshire, you can come out the same day, register to vote, and vote on November 6th. So if the people really want to make real change and a real message in D.C., all you need to do is get out there and vote for Libertarian candidates on the ballot, from President Gary Johnson on down to our state rep candidates here in Keene.
Right on. So you really think you can make a difference here and we've already stated before, but I mean, you know that I'm an anarchist and I don't agree with other people ruling other people. I don't agree with arbitrary authority or any of that, but don't you think that, you know, that power corrupts people? I mean, you vote them into office and they got all this power and it's pretty much unchecked because they have special exemptions and you know, the rules don't always apply to them.
To folks in yeah, right. I mean, power corrupts, power corrupts absolutely. And that's one of those things we need to get as much power out of Washington, D.C. as we can. Get it back to the state level, get it back to the local level. So, I mean, at that level, power still corrupts, but it's more manageable than down in D.C. where you're trying to convince, you know, politicians in the other 49 states to support New Hampshire on whatever New Hampshire's been doing. And New Hampshire's done lots of good things. I mean, they led the charge on the national ID bill and got that overturned, you know, not implemented in New Hampshire, and other states followed suit. My own state rep, Jen Coffey, who's a Free Stater up in Andover, she championed a knife repeal bill. And the knife repeal bill got started here and then it picked up in Arizona and other states.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
really
lots of
appreciated
things happening that, you know, happen.
Right.
What, you know, politicians are making happen. And I mean, my take is, you know, there are good politicians, very few of them, but we have really good examples of some good politicians in New Hampshire that are really taking the power out of the hands of the politicians and putting it back in the hands of the people.
I mean, what would you say to those people who are planning on voting for Obama? I mean, I
can't
I'm
think
dumbfounded.
of anything good. I mean, why are you going to vote for Obama? Because he's against the wars? No, he expanded the wars. Is he for medical marijuana? No, he's increased raids on medical marijuana. Illegal immigrants. He's exported more illegal immigrants than Bush. And it goes on and on and on. Gitmo, he's kept Gitmo open. And things just keep going on and on about Obama. There's no, I mean, unless you like socialized medicine and his Obamacare, that's about the only reason I hear of any Obama supporters supporting is because they want socialized medicine. All the other issues are just red herrings about why.
But yet they forget about the eternal detention, you know, him trying to slip a bill through that allows him to indefinitely detain American citizens.
National Defense Authorization Act. I mean, he can choose to assassinate whoever he wants, and there is no longer any due process. He is due process. And that's all things that Governor Gary Johnson, who's the Libertarian candidate for president, has opposed very publicly, very vehemently. And that's another reason why I'm running, is because to get Governor Johnson in the presidency, he's going to need some support in the Congress. And I'm running to be that support in Congress. And I think there's enough undecided voters out there, people that, you know, 90 million people don't even vote because they think the system just is corrupt. And if they all decided to wake up and say, okay, we're going to vote for change, we're going to vote for the Libertarians on the ballot, we would have a new country here November 6th, you know. and it could happen. And that's anarchists too. I know lots of anarchists are morally opposed to voting, but I know anarchists are morally opposed to the government, yet they'll go to the courts and use the courts for some reason, which is just government still.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would say if you're morally opposed to the political power, then go vote for the Libertarians. You know.
Well,
excuse us.
Yeah.
I mean, they might reduce the government 95%, and you want that extra 5%. But you know, think of it as a freedom train going across the country. Everyone get on in New Hampshire, and you take it, you know, as far across the country as you want. You might get off in Denver, you might get off in Salt Lake City, or you might go all the way to Hawaii and take the underground train, the under ocean train.
Gotcha. Well, thank you very much for this interview. I really appreciate that.
Hey, thank you.
I wish you luck, man.
Thank you very much.
All right.